For NFL fans, almost nothing is more frustrating than hot and cold production from a specific player. You see flashes of brilliance, and then moments of practically unwatchable performances. What's the word for that again? Oh yeah, inconsistent.
Been physical as Goff has been sharp, but this is intercepted by Tariq Woolen, and he's going to take it back.
So here are 10 active NFL players who have sky-high skill sets and talent, but haven't quite put it all together, making them incredibly frustrating to watch. Justin Herbert. Herbert has been the NFL's ultimate stats machine since entering the league in 2020, setting the records for most passing yards and completions in a quarterback's first 5 seasons.
Another penalty. Herbert shakes his man, throws, that's in the end zone, that's complete.
As well as the most TD passes in a QB's first 2 seasons. In terms of talent and individual production, Justin Herbert should be a consensus top 5 quarterback in the game. I mean, his 96.7 career passer rating is already higher than the likes of Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Montana, and Dan Marino, just to name a few. Unfortunately, Herbert is already far too similar to the very legendary Los Angeles Chargers QB that he succeeded in 2020, aka Phillip Rivers. What we mean by this is that he's just failed to show up in big game moments. Herbert is not a young man anymore. He is 5 years into his career. Fellow 2020 draftee Jalen Hurts has already been to 2 Super Bowls and won it all just last season.
He's done his best to hang in there, but again, not his natural position in the pros.
Hurts lets it go, complete A.J. Brown.
Herbert's Chargers blew a 27-point lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2022 wildcard round. The Bolts didn't commit a single turnover in that game, but man, it says a lot that Herbert just couldn't get that one last first down in the second half in order to seal the game. And this came a year after his Chargers lost a winner-go-home Week 18 2021 game against the inferior Las Vegas Raiders. It was all lined up perfectly for Herbert to pick up his first playoff win last year when the Chargers visited the banged-up Houston Texans in the wildcard round. Armed with an elite offensive line, a potent ground game, and the league's #1 scoring defense, Herbert folded by throwing 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions in a 32-12 blowout loss. That makes Herbert 0-13 in do-or-die games, all as a favorite. What more does this guy need to win at this point? It's just the same deal as Rivers, which is exactly why he is so fun to watch, but also so incredibly frustrating at the same time. Kyler Murray. Imagine you are one of the top directors in Hollywood, and you got to pick your cast for a new Star Wars movie. The production company gives you a limitless budget, allowing you to assemble a dream team cast. The movie has some moments, but it garners mixed reviews and doesn't get approval from George Lucas or the real Star Wars fanatics. Yeah, that's basically what Kyler Murray's tenure with the Arizona Cardinals has been up to this point. Plenty of hype, a lot of talent, some brief flashes, but not an actual blockbuster project by any means. The #1 pick of the 2019 NFL Draft has occasionally dazzled with his world-class athleticism and dual-threat style play, but you're also looking at a guy with a 36-45-1 record who has yet to throw for 4,000 yards or 30 touchdowns in a season.
On 1st and goal from the 10, firing to the corner.
Lamar Jackson has done so, and he runs way more than Murray. Murray's teams have a bad habit of playing well in the first half and then collapsing in the second. And for those who like to blame Cliff Kingsbury, well, it happened again with Jonathan Gannon in 2024. And it's not like Murray has lacked game-changing weapons either. See DeAndre Hopkins, Marquise Brown, Trey McBride, Zach Ertz, AJ Green, and James Conner. For a player with his talents and athleticism, Murray should not have such a lackluster win-loss record. Only 1 playoff appearance and 0 postseason wins in 6 years? That is not what Arizona paid $230.5 million for. No NFL QB defines hot and cold more than Kyler Murray, which is why he is easily among the most frustrating players of his era. George Pickens. Former NFL star wideouts like Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, and Chad Ochocinco brought the diva antics, but they always performed at an all-pro level. More often than not, their teams decided that the talent outweighed the attitude problems. Well, the same cannot be said for ex-Pittsburgh Steelers wideout George Pickens, who was traded to the Dallas Cowboys after the 2025 NFL Draft. The attitude problem is there. The elite production is not. He's in the tier of good but not great. Though man, he could really be special if he'd learned to play nice. Pickens had 52 catches for 801 yards and 4 touchdowns in his rookie year.
There's the back, 2nd and goal. And Pickens end zone shot, and Pickens caught it!
Then he looked like a budding superstar after catching 63 passes for 1,140 yards and 5 touchdowns in year 2.
23 to go on a 2nd and 9. Pickett lines up a deep ball. Separation. Touchdown.
And then his stats dropped down in year 3. 59 catches for 900 yards and 3 scores. But of course, Pickens' up and down production is not the only thing that makes him so frustrating. We've seen him make a ton of jaw-dropping highlight reel catches. He's got a future in acrobatics if he wants. But man, can we just see him put the selfish antics aside and just focus on being the best receiver and teammate possible? Seriously, if the Cowboys can't do it with all that star power and offense, then who will? Quay Walker. The Green Bay Packers were armed with a pair of first-round picks in 2022 thanks to the blockbuster trade that sent All-Pro wideout Davante Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders. Everyone had assumed that the Packers would use one of those picks on a receiver. But no, they doubled down on defense instead by taking a pair of Georgia standouts in linebacker Quay Walker and defensive lineman Devontae Wyatt. While Wyatt has become a solid rotational piece for Matt LaFleur's group, Walker is yet to fully put it together. Walker's versatility, elite athleticism, and speed made him such a highly touted prospect out of Georgia. The Packers have tried using him all over the field, but the Bulldogs version of Walker just has not shown up. He has just 6.5 sacks over his first 3 seasons. He was supposed to be reliable in coverage, but Walker has allowed a 70.1 completion percentage and 86.5 passer rating when targeted, making him a liability there more than anything else. Walker's 2024 PFF metrics weren't horrible, but not very good either. A 65.5 pass rush grade, a 67.7 run defense grade, and a 48.8 coverage grade. So he's slightly above average, but not terrible, but also not good enough for a player with his skill set. The Packers declined the 5th-year option on Walker's rookie deal, meaning that 2024 is his last chance to finally put it all together. If he needs inspiration, just look at 2017 first-round pick Hassan Reddick, who had 3 lackluster seasons with the Arizona Cardinals before finally breaking out in 2020. 5 years later, Reddick has cemented himself as one of the league's elite pass rushers. Now it's time for Walker to do the same. Kayvon Thibodeaux. There was a brief period where Thibodeaux was regarded as the early frontrunner to go first overall in the 2022 NFL Draft.
The New York Football Giants select Kayvon Thibodeaux, defensive end, Oregon.
But questions about Thibodeaux's work ethic popped up before the draft, and the risen stocks of Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson further pushed the Oregon product down the draft order. Anyway, Thibodeaux finally went 5th overall to the New York Giants after Walker, Hutchinson, Derek Stingley Jr., and Sauce Gardner. Those 4 men have grown into big-time stars for their respective teams. But man, the same cannot be said about Thibodeaux. Thibodeaux had an inconsistent 2022 rookie year, recording 4 sacks, 5 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles.
Second half.
Heineke under pressure from Thibodeaux.
Next year, he seemingly broke out with 11.5 sacks, 4 pass breakups, and 3 forced fumbles. Then Thibodeaux had a rough 2024 season, with only 5.5 sacks and a PFF grade of 69.0. Above average, sure, but still not what the Giants had expected after his monster sophomore year. A player with Thibodeaux's talent level should not be so hot and cold. He should be a multi-time Pro Bowler, all-pro by now. With the G-Men using the number 3 pick of 2025 on can't-miss prospect Abdul Carter, we're now skeptical that KT will ever live up to expectations with the Giants. So if he doesn't put it all together in year 4, maybe it'll be time for a change of scenery. Tariq Woolen. The Seattle Seahawks struck gold when they took Woolen in the 5th round at number 153 overall in 2022. He earned Pro Bowl honors after recording 16 pass breakups and 6 interceptions, tied for the league lead.
Been physical as Goff has been sharp, but this is intercepted by Tariq Woolen, and he's going to take it back.
Seattle made a surprise return to the postseason in year 1 of the post-Russell Wilson era, too. Woolen also allowed a hilarious 48.7 passer rating when targeted, and yet, inexplicably, Woolen's production has dropped completely ever since. Per Pro Football Reference, he has allowed 9 touchdowns in coverage over the last 2 seasons, allowing a passer rating north of 76 each and every year. He was benched on multiple occasions in 2023 and 2024, and his PFF grade has fallen just below 70 in consecutive years, too. So, will the real Tariq Woolen please stand up? It is your contract year, kid. Are you an all-pro caliber cornerback or a one-hit wonder? We saw what you could do as a rookie, so what's stopping you from returning to that all-world form? Kyle Pitts. Regarded as a generational tight end prospect, Pitts was drafted 4th overall by the Atlanta Falcons in 2021.
The Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida.
He certainly lived up to the hype as a rookie, racking up 68 receptions for 1,026 yards and a touchdown en route to Pro Bowl honors. And then, like balloons, the superstar version of Kyle Pitts just floated away. He missed 7 games as a sophomore, finishing with a lackluster stat line of 28 catches for 356 yards and 2 touchdowns. In 2023, he showed minimal improvement by catching 53 passes for 667 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just as we thought Kirk Cousins' arrival would help 2021 Kyle Pitts' return, he underwhelmed again with 47 catches for 602 yards and 4 touchdowns. Pitts was supposed to be an unstoppable one-on-one matchup nightmare with his 6'6", 250-pound frame and freakish athleticism. But up to now, we've just seen 1 great year, 1 bad year, and 2 more meh years. If Pitts isn't the definition of frustrating, especially for Falcons fans and fantasy football owners, then what is? Bryce Huff. After 3 unproductive seasons to begin his career, Huff seemingly broke out in 2023 when he posted 10 sacks on a lousy New York Jets team. He turned that career year into a lucrative payday from the Philadelphia Eagles, signing a 3-year pact worth $51.1 million. Despite playing on a star-studded Eagles defense, however, Huff could never find his game in the city of brotherly love. He had just 2.5 sacks in 12 games and made no impact in the postseason, even though Philly cruised to a Super Bowl 59 championship triumph. After a forgettable year in Philly, Huff was traded to the San Francisco 49ers for a conditional 2026 draft pick. No offense, but how do you play like a superstar on the Jets of all teams, then suck on one of the most dominant Super Bowl championship winning clubs ever? Who knows? Perhaps the 49ers will help us discover the real Bryce Huff. Tua Tagovailoa. With a 38-24-0 career record, Tagovailoa should be viewed as a bona fide superstar, right? I mean, he's got the 9th best passer rating in league history at 97.9, which, by the way, is higher than Tom Brady and Steve Young. But there are 2 things that have prevented Tagovailoa from joining the superstar club with the likes of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. Firstly, to his health and durability concerns. He's only played a full season once, missing 4 games in 2022 and 6 in 2024 altogether. Secondly, he has horrible career numbers against winning teams. In other words, he just pads his stats against bad teams. Congrats, you're beating up on the little guys. If Tagovailoa could just somehow get healthy and up his game, man, he would be a superstar, and his Dolphins would be in Super Bowl contention. But alas, his injury woes and struggles against good competition have kept Tua and Miami in the mushy middle. And boy, it does not get any more frustrating than that. Dak Prescott. Love or hate Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, but there's no denying that he has Hall of Fame caliber production. In the regular season, at least. You see, Prescott has the 8th highest passer rating in NFL history and has averaged more passing yards per contest than Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Dan Marino, Brett Favre, and Josh Allen. And that's just to name a few. He's got a ridiculous 76-46 regular season record and has led Dallas to double-digit wins in 5 of his 7 NFL seasons. Prescott is only on this list because, well, his career playoff production is absolutely atrocious. A 2-5 record with 14 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. 3 of those losses came at home with the Cowboys as a favorite. At this rate, Prescott is bound to join the likes of Dan Marino, Dan Fouts, Phillip Rivers, and Tony Romo. A great regular season quarterback who didn't get it done in the postseason. You know, where it mattered most. Dak certainly has time to rewrite history and change that narrative, but man, we're gonna have to see it before we believe it. But hey, which other active NFL players are insanely talented but also so frustrating to watch? Do you agree with the choices on our list? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.